Who is this?
Actually, this is Salim.
Okay.
He told me nobody should blame Madam Kisaka. These people cut KCCA budget by half. What people used to get previously is not what she gets. So what you ask her, she can't give. Is this true?
When it comes to roads in particular, we used to get, the budget used to be 26 billion for every quarter. Is it every quarter? I'm forgetting. Yeah? Yes, no, for the year. 26 billion from Uganda Road Fund for the year. That would mean you get at least 6 billion per quarter to work with. Would you believe what the budget was cut down from 2020? To 10 billion in a year. Not even 50%, to something like 35%.
From 26 to 10.
To 10. And you get a little in the first quarter, right up to the fourth quarter. That means it's the road suffering. And when you're talking about a smart city, one of the things you look at immediately are roads. But the roads budget was cut. And so it put us in a very awkward situation. Even places that could be patched could not be patched. We had to focus on small. Yeah, but that has changed now. Still, the budget from Uganda Road Fund is 10 billion. The one for patching roads is, but we've got a significant budget this financial year, which will enable us to focus on roads specifically. For the first time, we are getting a budget which is 800 billion Neziguam. And our key focus, actually more than 50% of that budget, is roads. Is going on to overhauling, refurbishing roads. So we expect that in this financial year, next and maybe 6 months after, there's going to be a total overhaul of roads all around Kampala. We expect to do 80 kilometers this year, which is about 41 roads in the city alone. That's a huge, huge change. Most of the city is going to be like a work site, but the outcome of that is going to be very beneficial. Yes, yeah.
We are seeing demolition of roundabouts.
Yes.
Give us some light on that.
Okay. We are very, very, I don't want to say proud, but we are very delighted that we have finalized the work of building the Traffic Control Center, which is now situated here at City Hall, magnificent building of 4 stories. We are beginning the process of equipping it so that we can use it for controlling traffic, for managing traffic in the city.
When you say controlling, what exactly does it entail?
Okay, so it's going to have the equipment that connects with the signalization of the junctions, evitala, you know, the traffic lights. So we are removing 27 roundabouts from the city and instead putting junctions with traffic lights, so signalization. And that controlling those signals is going to be based here at KCCA so that we can, I'm told it's a new technology where you don't have to say we have to wait for 5 minutes when we get to the lights, but there is a management that knows there is much congestion there isn't, and it controls that. It is some science that...
It is a side that has more...
Yes, yes. So you see work is going on at Mulago roundabout, at Kubiri roundabout, even the one going to the Mulago, where the coffins are.
The neonatal hospital.
Yes. So all those roundabouts, those are 3 there. We have one on Old Kira Road, one at Spear House. In total, 27 around. Even the one at Speak Road, Imperial, next to Grand Imperial. All those roundabouts are going to be removed, and we expect this work to be finished by April 25. We'll have a brand new city. Infrastructure development is one of our key priorities in the city right now, because if we can enable decongestion of the city, if we can enable connectivity so that a person coming from Lunguja going to Chanja has some side roads which are well done and they can go quickly, it hastens, it works even on our economy. being in the traffic and laying there, taking 3 hours to go to work and taking 3 hours to go back home, is 6 hours lost in a day. So infrastructure improvement is a big priority for the city, and government has released at least two budgets have been released now. We expect another budget under a third project to be released so that we focus on improving the roads in the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
You hinted on the decongestion.
Yes.
We heard of a plan that was supposed to keep trailers and big buses out of Kampala.
Yes.
Is that plan still there?
It's part of.
Because we register a number of accidents.
Yes.
Buses and
It is there. It is part of our KCRP, Kampala City Roads Rehabilitation Project. It has a component of buying land or turning land that we have around the city so that the heavy trucks can stay out of the city and they don't have to congest the city during the work hours. They can have controlled hours when they move, maybe in the night, and it's part of decongesting the city. That is going to happen within this project that we are managing right now.
And that brings me now to our brothers and sisters in the border and the taxi matatu.
Yes.
When we had just crossed from the local government to the KCCA way of doing it,
yes,
there was a lot of discussions to do with the taxi industry.
Yes.
And we remember of agreements of them disbanding Utoda and they started paying. Is that still the trend?
Okay.
Do they still pay to you, the taxi drivers?
The taxi drivers, we collect revenue
from them?
From the taxis. It is regulated under a law which was enacted by government. But let me talk about the way they are organized.
Exactly.
There is
their way of working in the city
Uganda Taxi Owners Federation, UTOF, is an umbrella body that brings together about 6 organizations that used to fight each other to manage the taxis. But in 2022, I believe, we had so many stakeholder engagements right here at City Hall, resolving conflicts, talking about the benefits of having one umbrella organization where they can all relate. And luckily now they are doing that. They have their own committees, they do their own administration. Sometimes they invite us to open this or open the other. But that has brought relative peace. I think you've hardly heard about any scuffles in the taxi industry. It's just that as the city gets more congested with more people living in the city, we want to have buses also which evacuate large numbers of people from the city. But that's an area for private investors to support what government is doing.
As in having the taxis here and the buses as well?
Yes. Of course, if they are...
Or we'll replace the taxis?
You can't do that. It's just like you can't completely replace the borders. You can reduce them, but you cannot completely replace. Because you see, the border serves an end mile user. Somebody who goes mukalo, a little bit in the village. What we want to work on is reduce the congestion in the city, but let them be on the sides of the city. We used to have over 2,000 stages for borders, for instance. Now we have reduced that to 400, about 450 stages for borders.
In so doing, as KCCA, how have you touched the industry, the border industry, and its challenges?
One of the things, I'll tell you, one of the things we've spent time doing, which can't be seen, but it is ongoing, it is stakeholder engagements. To get taxi people to make a decision, to take border to make a decision, to take cleaners to make a decision. This large number of people, you have to talk, you have to engage, you have to meet them in small groups and large groups. We've done that continuously and we continue to do that so that they are the ones actually leading the process. We are guiding. It is their business. Border is their business. But we are guiding on how it can be done better so that there is harmony, coexistence. Personal cars, buses, taxis, and borders.
Yes.
They all have to live in the city. We can't just evacuate all of them. But can we do it in an orderly manner? Can we, for instance, Central Business District, evacuate it of the borders so that we have maybe the big buses? Those are conversations that you cannot say, I'll score in one sitting. It's an ongoing conversation.
Zeroed on a final plan.
The plan is there. The plan is there. The plan is to evacuate the borders from Central Business District. But the implementation is a process because we have to prepare the outskirts where we are taking them. There have to be shelters. There has to be the tarmacked areas where they park. We have to do sensitization of the community. It is a whole process. There is the licensing. Most of these borders are not licensed. Many of them don't know even how to ride. They can ride, but they don't know how to ride. So all those things are ongoing. It is part of what we are doing.
They have now become a security threat.
Yes.
You have watched the clips.
Yes. 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 They.
As KCCA, how are you looking at this?
Yeah. This is a work that we have to do in partnership with police. Yeah, because security is the police's mandate, but administration of the traffic is part of our mandate. So we are working together. These conversations are ongoing, and we have a plan, which I'm not sharing here, but it is there.
Okay.
Yes.
The state of the transport system is what we have been discussing, and you say you have a plan to decongest. In how long should we expect this?
Okay. The steps that need to be taken, it depends on the accomplishment of the steps. So there is the setting up of the stages, there is the training, the licensing of the borders, and there is another thing we are thinking of migrating from petrol to electric borders, because again that also affects our air quality a lot. So it is that progression. If we can achieve it first, then you see the plan implemented first.
Even the steps you're taking, what do you think are the ones that may delay us?
Yeah, but they are needed.
Of engaging them?
It's very much needed. You can't gain results working through people without engagement. You can use force. You can use force. It's a way of working. It is one way of working. But you can use both. If you've brought enough education, then you regulate with force. But if there is no sensitization and you are just coming and chasing them off the streets, it becomes a very difficult thing to administer. And you look like you've gained, but you lose the ground that you've already gained. So we want to do something for posterity. Kampala is not leaving. It's not leaving us. So let's prepare for it properly, so that those who come 2 years, 3 years after us find an order which is continuous, which is working.
We build on that.
Yeah, let's build on something. If we set systems.
Way of work.
Absolutely. Let me tell you, we need systems. We need systems. When God created the world, He said, let there be, what did He say? Let there be light.
Yes.
And there was day, and there was night, and it has never stopped. It's a system you can rely on. There will be day, there will be night.
But the bulldozer way will take out something.
If we didn't have the system of day and night, you say, oh, I wonder when it will become dark. I wonder when it will become light. Now you know. Everybody knows. Every day I have a deposit of 12 hours daytime. And that's what I would like us to establish. Systems in what we do, so that the border knows, when I buy my border, I go to KCCA, I get a license, I go to a school, I'm trained, I get my jacket, and I'm located in Machindi. If I follow that system, I'm safe. Not a border just waking up, you buy a border and you find him in Kawempe, you find him everywhere. You can't regulate him. So that becomes a security risk for the country, because you don't know where he is. But if we know all the yellow jackets are in Kawempe, all the green jackets are in Makindi, all the blue jackets are in Nakawa, we have a system that we are using. That's really what we are building, so that there is posterity in the transport industry.
That is the method you took with the politicians on arrival. You're handling the same effecting the same way with the kind of business people, especially in the transport industry, and you really have hope for fruits.
Absolutely. It's the same system we followed with our cleaners.
I'm coming.
Yes.
Let me
So
start with the vendors.
systems are extremely important. We cannot run away. This city is big. This city has 1.5 million people. You can't be erratic just in managing. Do a little and let that little be neat, and then go to the next and let that next thing be neat. That's what we are trying to do.
The time you came to Kampala as ED,
Yes.
you were here already.
Yes.
Vendors
I was living in Kampala.
Yes. Vendors had a road designated for them
Yes.
to do business every Sunday. What went wrong? Why did you find this not right?
We
Not you, but your administration.
Yes, we came in during COVID, so it was not there already.
Yes.
It was not there. And then when COVID ended and people flooded the streets, they were literally everywhere. They were here at Parliament Avenue. Every place had people, vendors. So in 21, at the beginning of 21, we started a campaign which we call the Smart City campaign, to get the vendors off the streets and back into the markets. By the way, at that time, the markets themselves were empty because people had come. There was a scarcity that required people to sell very quickly, so they would just pour things on the verandas. One time I was walking down on Gulum Street, actually, you'd find shoes, you'd find roasted chicken, you'd find tomatoes, you find clothes, all on the verandas. We succeeded. It took about 3 months, January to March. We succeeded. It was a gentle campaign. It was done by some of our staff here. They first sensitized. The whole of December they were sensitizing. In January they moved in and pushed people out, and they were relocated in an area we found in Kisenyi temporarily to work there as vendors. Now your question is, why don't we designate a road for Sunday? Is because if we open up that window, it will just be spread once again. What you have to be aware is people in the shops are paying taxes. They pay licenses, and they are denied the opportunity to sell their goods because these vendors have spread out from the door up to the whole piece of the veranda. So we want people who have shops to have opportunity to realize the benefits of their taxes, and let vendors also go back to the markets or have a designated chibangirizi where they trade from. Trading spaces is one of the challenges of Kampala right now. We lack trading spaces for people who are selling their wares. The government has a plan to do 2 markets in every division. It has not yet been funded, but that's the plan. We need to find places where people trade. If we don't, then people will continue trading on the verandas, and then we'll continue chasing them away, which is not good.
So we can never have that road with vendors ever again?
No, not ever again, until there is some level of discipline, and the shops, the frontages of the shops are not crowded. We cannot allow them. By the way, during Christmas and during Easter and some of the other holidays, we let it be. But after that, again, we need to ensure that they are off the streets.
You still have brutal law enforcement teams.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah. Yes.
Do they have to be that brutal?
Sometimes in enforcing law and order, trade order is one of the most difficult areas of administration in the city. Sometimes they use force. I'm not condoning it, but sometimes they are forced. They are forced to do that because of the reaction they are getting. We want to stop those things. I think I've talked to you already about our campaign of disseminating information and knowledge about what the KCCA services.
Yes.
I think people are ignorant. Many people don't know some of the services we offer, and some people don't know their rights when they are being pushed left and right and center. We want to partner with UBC to ensure that we are telling our people what they need to do, what's going on, where they can trade, how they should behave, where they shouldn't sell, all those things. I don't condone our law enforcement fighting with, no, I don't condone that at all. But I'm also telling at the same time, vendors stop trading in places where you shouldn't be trading.
Okay. You talked about the markets. The markets in Kampala have been, I would say, a problem for a very long time.
It's true. It's
There
true.
is a time
Apparently.
we had the story of Kavuyo in Wino,
Yes.
and yourself with your team, you had gone to ensure a handover of the market from one person over to KCCA.
Yes.
What is the current state of the situation of the markets
Okay.
in Kampala, and what is it like?
You followed that Kavuyo?
Yes.
In 2020, September, we received a government directive saying KCCA should take over all the markets in Kampala, the public markets. There are 15 public markets, and they had been in the administration of association leaders who were drawing money, but it was not being remitted to government or anything like that. It was for themselves. So in March 21, we took over the markets. That is the SCAFO. You're calling the SCAFO. We were taking the markets away from the association leaders back to KCCA. And there was some resistance in that. As I speak now, we have taken over all the markets. We have KCCA staff who are called market masters and administrators in the markets. They are taking care of the administration aspects. The vendors still have the mandate to take care of their own welfare. You know, they are collecting money for people who have died or supporting one or the other. That is theirs. But taking care of the facilities is a KCCA mandate. And we have KCCA staff collecting revenue from the markets. And we also want now, this year, to begin collecting the rentals from the properties. Some properties belong to government, some don't belong to government, but those which belong to government will be collecting rentals from those. Markets are dynamic places. You find all sorts of people there, and our goal, our immediate goal is to ensure that the infrastructure is improved. Recently, we tarmacked most of Owino Market. We've put solar lights. We were blessed to have a strategic partnership with one of our residents who facilitated that, so that we put lights in Owino. But we want to do it for all our 15 markets to improve the infrastructure. Last week, we launched one of the toilets in Bokoto, which again, UBL supported us to do that. We are improving the infrastructure, the look, the trading space, how it looks, and therefore how people function, so that they can gain more economic value.
So you stopped me from asking about the cleanliness there, because that's where I was going.
Oh, yeah.
Let me leave.
Yeah, we are trying our level best. One of the things is that we must make sure that there is water, and the toilet facilities are good, and the collection regime for the rubbish is working well. And I think it is not at 100%, but we are getting there. Once in a while, we have a hiccup when our trucks break down or we don't have enough fuel. But otherwise, the method, the rhythm is working well.
The system remains.
The system is working.
There were complaints about the legality of you, KCCA, taking over these markets.
Yes.
Where vendors had paid for their own titles.
Yes. Yeah.
They had taken steps to seek for ownership of this land.
Yeah.
So they had legal questions about you taking over this market.
Yes.
How did you sort that?
It's not completely sorted yet, and we are solving it case by case. All the markets don't look the same. Some markets, government owns everything, the land and the buildings, but there are some where residents built their own lockups. So we are looking at them case by case and resolving them. We can't use, government has no intention of taking that which does not belong to it. So we as administrators must ensure that justice prevails.
Okay.
Yeah.
Physical planning.
Yes.
Okay. We no longer have cases of buildings that fall on people and things like that.
Yes.
Do you have any new plans in that area?
Yeah. Oh, physical planning, we have made great progress on this. We launched the smart permit. where people who want plans can log online from the comfort of their own locations, whether their homes or offices, and all the transactions will go on online. This had actually started years ago, but had broken down. But this year it is up and running. So we encourage our residents, you don't have to come and interact with KCCA staff at City Hall. You can log on online, and this system is going to be even improved. In this year, it's one of our goals to ensure that physical planning processes are going well. But I think you're also talking about ensuring that people are building according to plans. Yeah, that is where devolution again works, because we can't control that at City Hall, but our division structures. We have a building inspector, we have physical planners at all the divisions, and those are some of the things that they are doing. That's some of the work they are doing. They inspect the premises. They are always in the field, ensuring that the physical plan, they are adhering to physical planning regulations.
It is the cause of the funny drainage system that we have.
Drainage is one of our challenges. It's a big challenge and historical. It is historical because if you build on the drainage itself, yes. Water will always find its own way.
Such a person will flash
yes.
a plan approved.
Yes.
With his house.
Which is unfortunate.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know, it's a human failing. You know, where you know this is evil and you still do the wrong. But we are dealing with these corrupt ways very, very seriously now, and we believe they are going to stop.
Okay.
Yes.
Do we have any other bigger plans that KCCA is looking at as we wind up?
Yes. Let me tell you the big plan we have. Roads. Roads is number one. Roads and drainages in the city is number one, it is number two, and it is number three. As KCCA, we are championing a smart city agenda, and it is premised on three priorities. The first one is technological advance. If we can do it with technology, let's do it with technology to ease service delivery. That is a key thing. So the smart permit, the traffic control, the call center, all the things that enable the residents to communicate with us and us to serve them without digitally. Yeah. The second priority in our smart city agenda is infrastructure improvement. So we are talking roads, drainages, schools, health centers, lighting, walkways, toilets, all those things. We have prioritized them in this financial year, and we are ticking off what needs to be done in that priority line. And the final one is people well-being, the livelihood of people, the homesteads quality. So PDM is one of our key programs. We've dispersed 9.7 billion in this last financial year through Ministry of Finance, enabled 99 of our circles to get their money, and it's going to happen again this year. Air quality, that is another thing about people's livelihood. Air quality and health centers, the kind of service that we offer at the health centers. KCCA is one of the best performing health facilities. We were awarded the top performers. Kawala was the top performer in quality care. And then education services. So technological advance, infrastructure improvement, and people well-being. Those are the three priorities. We check our outputs based on those three priorities, and they are moving well now.
What is your view about your schools, KCCA schools?
Yeah.
Uganda Road.
Yeah.
Kasubi,
The historical.
Yes.
The historical schools. One of the things we want to do is improve the infrastructure. We are removing all asbestos in the city. I think this financial year we'll be finalizing. We've been doing a little every financial year, but we are removing. We are building a new school. Is it Kasubi? I forget the name. Every year we add on some blocks. This financial year we are doing Nachivubo and Kasubi. I believe it's Kasubi. And We have 79 schools in the city. They are very crowded. We need more schools. 79 UPE schools and 22 USE schools. Infrastructure improvement is the key thing, and government is giving us funding every year a little to ensure that that happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
I cannot forget the issue of the road cleaners that went on strike, and that is the other time we had you on TV for some good days.
Yes.
Explaining.
Yeah.
How have you sorted that, and how could KCCA fail to pay these old women?
It's a kind of a long explanation, but the short of it is that government gave us a policy which says, Bonaba Kole, you know, accommodate all groups. But by the time that came in, we had already budgeted for so many. So we got added a new number that meant that the budget we had was not enough. So the delay in getting a budget to cover for all is what caused the riots. The good news is that that is not going to be repeated again, because now we have a budget and we are going to work with that budget to ensure that our city is cleaned under the policy of Bonaba Kole. And we are working, we have harmonized with the political side.
The areas were paid?
The areas are fully paid. We are now at zero. There is nobody who hasn't been paid for the last financial year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now this is the thing that is going to make you the most unpopular person in Kampala.
What is?
You scrapped the carnival.
No, when we came in, it was COVID.
COVID went long time ago.
No, wait a minute. Recovery from COVID has taken some time. Like I told you, a pregnancy has the first 3 months, which are traumatic. When you get into the 4th month, you start walking more securely. You wait and see. We are bringing entertainment to the city. It is a must. It may not be the carnival as you knew it, but entertainment for the city is a must.
Okay. So anytime from now, KCCA may
Chija.
advertise that the carnival is on.
Yes.
Just a closing remark to a Kampala resident or worker
Yes.
watching you as well.
Yeah. Kampala city is a smart city. We are building a smart city together. It's everybody's job. Right now we are in the campaign of clean and green. Your trading spaces, your sleeping spaces, clean and green, or paint and pave. Everybody doing their little part is what is going to deliver a smart city. On our part, we are championing the smart city agenda, and please be part of it.
Thank you so much for the time and whatever we have shared.
Thank you.
Her name is Mrs. DOROTHY Kisaka. She's the Executive Director, Kampala Capital City Authority. We had to take on some time to talk to her.